Well, welcome back to wherever you're watching in the world. It's the Rugby 10s Invitational, and we are ready for a game 13, where San Clemente Rhinos will go up against the Balkans Honey Badgers. Both teams have been really preparing for this one, as it's one of those big games. Joining me in the commentary box, we got Paul Dalport, former Blitzboks women's coach, as well as former Blitzboks rugby player. Though, Paul, you've been on the mic for quite a while. It's been really an exciting and a ferocious pile of games that you've been doing this morning so far.
It has, Sean, but it's an absolute pleasure working with you wonderful human beings, and just great to see all this talent on display, Sean. I mean, this is another one now, kind of moving in between, you know, from the senior men to the under 18s to senior women, and now back to the under 18 girls. What a day of rugby.
Yeah, absolutely. As the San Clemente Rhinos got the scrum, they managed to scrap the ball. Got a breakdown, position just outside of the 22 of the Balkans Honey Badgers. Score still 0-0 in the early exchanges of game 13. It's Georgia Lee Lewis again maneuvering the attack. She's been the cornerstone. And the Balkans Honey Badgers manages to get the turnover, looking to run out of their own 22, which they are doing quite well. And it's Angelique Ross-Allen with the offload. She's quite strong as well in the contact exchanges. At the moment, just too stagnant for the Balkans Honey Badgers. Not generating any sort of momentum, but San Clemente Rhinos defense still holding nice and tight. It's Leon Neff with a nice flat pass. Now space on the outside, but again just losing the ball in contact, and the ref calls the knock on Paul. Both teams still feeling each other out. Still a bit of nerves probably in this game 13. That's
very much so, Shal. But as you said, they look, the Honey Badgers keeping the ball very, very nicely. But as you said, just not making any inroads there. And again, just the San Clemente Rhinos defense just really riding that out and doing very, very well.
Yeah, their defense has been one of the cornerstones of their play thus far. And again, a good scrum, but the ref says there was again a small knock on. One of the things that these teams will need to grow in is trying to eliminate and minimize these unforced errors. We know that both of these teams come from quite proud franchises where there's really good coaching structures. You mentioned the likes of Mia. I know Brown van Straten has also been involved with the San Clemente Rhinos in the series and the championship. How important is these experienced coaches bringing down to these youth levels?
Definitely, Charles. Look, for me, rugby is a very, very simple game, and we have to focus on the fundamentals. You know, in rugby, if you can't catch, pass, you can't make your tackle, you can't move into space, it's going to be very difficult to play, and especially in the 10s and the 7s game. I mean, as we say that now, fantastic.
Yeah, space on the outside, again using
pace there,
the width, and that's what the defining factor is for the San Clemente Rhinos, as they open the scoring. And again, with the San Clemente Rhinos team, you give them a half a sniff, they will punish you. Try scorer, number 4, Anotando Mbada. Good play of heels, and the conversion, unfortunately, not successful, but a 5-0 lead. I'm sure the coaches will be happy with that start.
Very, very happy with that. And again, I think with the Rhinos not having as much possession as they would have liked to have had in these first 4 minutes or so, very good for them. First time they get any decent possession, and they're on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's San Clemente Rhinos team. They've got a nice blend of pace and physicality within their ranks. Balkans Honey Badgers now wanting to get themselves back into this match, using the width at the moment. And good defense on Johanna Venter.
Just been a really good hit there from Mbada again, not just scoring tries there, Sean.
Yeah, Mbada, we know she's a threat with the ball, but equally in defense, she's not scared for those exchanges. It's the San Clemente Rhinos again getting the opportunity, but again losing the ball in contact. And we know in this block, where in the African sun, and this, it's quite demanding on the players in terms of keeping their focus and making sure that they minimize any sort of 50-50 pass that can go astray.
It is, Charles. Look, and very, very tough for these young women, you know, to get up and down again. You warm up, you play a game, you rest, you've got to get yourself up for the next one, and obviously different strategies, different plans depending on who you're playing against. So yeah, tough challenge for these young women today.
Yeah, generally the Josephs trying to get the gap on the outside, but penalty awarded to the Balkan Honey Badgers. They're opting to go with the tap and go Shiko Manlingwa. Opting to go through the middle. You have to be careful not to get isolated in the breakdown area. San Clemente Rhinos now really piling the pressure, trying to employ the rush defense. Can you see any glimmer of gap opening up, but again isolated, and the turnover penalty to the San Clemente Rhinos. We know Georgia Lee Lewis always tries to speed up the game, trying to look for the offer gap, which she does. Wonderful opportunity seized there to split the defense of the Balkan Honey Badgers. We've mentioned her name all morning, Georgia Lee Lewis. She's been phenomenal, Paul.
She has been fantastic. It's so nice to see these little playmakers who run the game, run the play. But again, going back to that breakdown, the Rhinos, as you mentioned, really good on defense. They're making their first-time tackles. A lot of their tackles are offensive hits, giving that Jackler an opportunity to steal. And again, that comes from a turnover at the breakdown, and then obviously the quick thinking of Lewis, who unfortunately just missed there. From a technical side there, I would say to go closer to the poles. It's a bit windy.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've picked up, that the players really have a bit either too much confidence or just maybe a little bit ignorant in terms of where the positioning is, but I'm sure the coaches will sharpen that. It's the San Clemente Rhinos with a early lead, 10 points to 0 against the Balkan Honey Badgers. And it's the big frame of Aisha Jacobs looking to suck into the defense. Again, running the risk of being isolated, but San Clemente Rhinos not supporting their body weight in that breakdown. And we've seen the players rather opting to go with the tap and go, and that's what they do. It's Lee Chang Neff starting proceedings. Good show and go by Cassie Boyson. Again, look to open up the defense, try to see if there's some sort of gap in the fringes, but it's the San Clemente Rhinos. You mentioned it earlier, Paul, about the offensive tackles. Really courageous when it comes to that part of the match.
Yeah, you're right, Charlie. And I think at the moment, you say the Honey Badgers keeping the ball, but now finally getting in behind. And again, another offensive tackle, and it just feels to me the Honey Badgers at the moment just not sending the ball to where the space is. At the moment, look at the space on the right-hand side. They literally have a 3-person overlap, but just unable to get the ball there.
Yeah, it's about identifying the space. And it's Aisha Jacobs again opting to rather go for the offload. Good defense on Monrika van der Host. She's been quite a live wire in exchanges. A little bit of space here on the outside.
Oh, and again, an absolute crack of a tackle from the Rhinos. The Balkans player still on the ground there, Shaw.
Yeah, the Balkan Honey Badgers getting a real beating from the defense of the San Clemente Rhinos. And turnover now in full speed as they look to run out of there, just outside of their 22. And Lauren Adams deciding enough is enough, belting the ball down the field. A real good chase. And a nice yank to the front. Can that ball bounce up nicely for her? And unfortunately, just losing the ball in just 5 meters away from the try line. That is number 5, Lukanya Lolo, who's also been industrious in the exchanges. And that's what makes a good kick ball, is the chase. And that's what Lolo did on that occasion.
Certainly. Yep. Number 5 being very industrious. But again, was that Shaldova? Was that Lewis who saw the space in behind? Kicked it over. We've both been so impressed with her game sense, just the way she reads the game, the opportunities she sniffs out, and her execution. That was a really, really good kick. And often, Sheldon, when players kick, what they don't realize, they kick these little chip kicks, and then it's still a bit of a 50-50. Whereas if you kick it in behind them, you downfield, you give your chasing players an opportunity to get in front of their players chasing back. Just brilliant play all round from Lewis and the Rhinos.
Yeah, Lewis, one of those X-factor players where you just can't coach those type of instinctive play. And Balkan Honey Badgers manages to get a really good scrum on the Rhinos. Good yank by Lee Neff. Not the chasing lines, leaving a lot to be desired for as the San Clemente Rhinos again building out of their own 22. A little bit of a loose pass, but the rest says play can continue.
First.
Rhinos need to be careful not to get isolated and a turnover from the Balkan Honey Badgers.
Backwards.
Let's see if they can get some sort of positive reinforcement before half-time. Ball being turned over by the San Clemente Rhinos, but the ref says the knock-on was there. And yes, that concludes the first half of this under-18 girls division. It's the San Clemente Rhinos in the lead by 10 points over the Balkan Honey Badgers. And Paul, it's been helter-skelter, but it's been positive for the Rhinos.
It has been, and even to a degree positive for the Honey Badgers. For me, for them to only be 10 points down after that first half performance from the Rhinos, which was very, very good. I think they can take a lot of positives out of that, still being able to be in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We will go down to the studio with Noms Totebo and Cat Merchant.
Really pleased to get 2 scores ahead because Badgers are a really good team, so they'll be happy with that so far. But I tell you what, it's getting quite hot out there. Players are going to be pretty tired, and they're doing so well to be so physical still.
And one thing I like about today is the weather. The weather has been so kind. Do you reckon, are we going to see any changes of this weather up until this 7:20? Because the last game is at 17:20.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to stay pretty warm. I think the next maybe 4 games are going to be maybe the toughest conditions in terms of the heat. But the quality of players that we have at this tournament, it's not going to make a difference. They're going to just be playing champagne rugby. They'll offload it. It's going to be great.
Champagne rugby. Tell me something. Are they going to come back, the Badgers, or are they taking off the Rhinos? Are they taking this one?
Oh, good question. I think Rhinos are comfortable in their lead, but Badgers definitely won't give up yet. We've seen teams come back. We've seen it in some of the, we saw a draw earlier, 19-all with the Badgers under 20. So they'll be fighting there for sure.
That is Cat Merchant with me, the winner of the Rugby World Cup. Sweetie, thank you so much. We'll be back in your last game today.
Fantastic scenes down field in the studio. Thank you, Noms Totebo and Cat Merchant. Well, Paul, it's all happening here. The geest and the vibe, especially amongst the fans, are really building up. Such a positive atmosphere for these up-and-coming under-18 girls.
Oh, absolutely. And I keep on fanboying here, but obviously with you and Kat and Noms, but obviously Devin Didit is here. It's my favorite. He's been having the crowd absolutely flying on that side. I don't know if you've taken a walk down there, so, but there are dance competitions going on, there are dance-offs, there are all kinds of things happening down there.
Yeah,
which just adds to the day.
Yeah, Dev Didit, he's a man for the people, and his dance moves and his entertainment is real top-notch today. Well, we're back in action here at the Strand High School Stadium. It's a Rugby 10s Invitational, where the San Clemente Rhinos are currently in the lead by 10 points to 0 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. Short restart. Ball manages to get over the 10 as the Balkan Honey Badgers regains possession. Short little knock on there. A little bit unfortunate. What do you think, Paul, the chat would have been half-time, especially in the Honey Badgers huddle, to see how they can get themselves back into this match?
Yeah, sure. I think just maybe try and limit. I know it's tough in these conditions, but just limit those unforced errors, because in all fairness, they really have had a lot of possession. I just think they need to be a bit more accurate. Maybe just be a bit more direct as well, and even that, just play a bit more smartly. Really like that option of a short kickoff. So maybe they've got some plans working, but as we say it, there goes our favourite.
Yeah, number 9, Georgia Lee Lewis, going the right side of the scrum and using a pace and a wonderful swerve on the outside to keep her defence guessing. And a second try for the number 9, just to increase their lead by 15 points to 0 with a kick to come. Again, you can't teach brilliance, you can't teach genius, Paul.
You who can't. And she has this innate ability to sniff out these opportunities. And not just sniff them out, but also go and finish it off.
Yeah.
And just the confidence, Charles. I'm sure you love it as well. For me, I'm looking at a talented young woman who's confident, who wants to be in that decision-making position, and just doing it, everything she does at 100%, and she does it with aplomb. It's amazing.
Conversion unsuccessful on that occasion, which keeps the score at 15 points to 0. That is in the favour of San Clemente Rhinos, the team in the green strip. And again, a short knock-on from the number 10 of the Balkan Honey Badgers, Cassie Boyson. She's been one of the leaders in her team, and we will be very disappointed with that effort. But a nice little scrum here on the 10 inside the half of the Badgers. You've seen with Lewis, she likes to plot, try to see if she can explore that blind side. And she opts to go on the far side. A good strong run through the middle, but equally met in defense. And Honey Badgers showing their strength in turning over that ball. Just a little bit isolated on that occasion, but they managed to get the ball down to the ground. And it's number 17, Yania Peters, trying to see if she can exploit the gap around the fringes. A bit of indecision, but it's Manrika van der Host with a bit of a loose pass. And at the moment, this Badgers team, as we look at the coaches of the Rhinos, you can see there's a lot of focus, a lot of encouragement. But the Badgers at the moment not getting the necessary real estate that they need to get on the right side of the field, Paul, and try to see if they can make their position count.
Shame, Charlie, you're right. You've hit the nail on the head. Just maybe suffering from a bit of indecision. Even they're kind of running themselves into trouble. Not really knowing, nobody coming on a hard line. Also not just sending the ball first time into the space. So they're just overrunning the ball. And just unfortunately that attack breaking down again.
Yeah, pick up and go from Asharia Beckett, managing to regain possession. The rest is offside on the Badgers side. She awards the long-on penalty. Kanye Lola looks to speed up things as she goes for the tap and go. Nice show and go. You have to be careful not to get isolated there in the breakdown, but teammates really being nice away, and that is Pauline van Staden, short in stature, but really got a big heart when it comes to the physical exchanges. Lewis looks with a show and go, and a nice pop to Lauren Yankees, who has some good momentum entering the 22 now of the Honey Badgers. They must be very careful not to lose the ball now in contact. It's Lolo with a lovely pop into contact, and it's number 16. She started it and she finished it. That is Ratabile Mohare with a try to give the San Clemente Rhinos the 20-point lead. At the moment, it's a one-way train, Paul, and it looks like it's not going to end anytime soon.
It is wonderful continuity from this Rhinos team. Really just that attacking set they put together, Charles. Beautiful. Yeah. Taking it to the middle, keeping it alive, bringing it back into space, and just the players, their awareness to obviously attack spaces. So they're always in spaces, never in faces, and then also not dying with the ball. Getting that ball away, accurate, effective offloads, and in they go with a try again.
I like what you said there, Paul, about trying to attack the space instead of the face. How do you get that idea across to players where you know that it's quite important, especially in the rugby 10s format?
Yeah, definitely. It's quite tough. Look, it's a very South African thing. We always want to win the contact. We always want to win the battle. But as soon as we can just get players comfortable, identifying the space, but also just running into those spaces, really just adds a couple of options to their game.
Yeah, conversion not successful as the San Clemente Rhinos still have a healthy lead, 20 points to 0 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. It's Karis Benjamin breaking through the middle, lovely little offload, managing to gain position there. That is Michaela Davids. A little bit stagnant at the moment, but with how they attack the space, they can really conjure an attack up from any sort of position on the field. It's Lewis trying to tease the defense again. Karis Benjamin once again with the ball. Lewis with the crossover pass. Now the Rhinos at the moment just toying with the opposition at the moment. Setting up the breakdown just outside of the 22. And the ref deems a high tackle. The Badgers defense really letting themselves down at the moment. Michaela Davids with a big run. Now firmly in the 22 of the Badgers. Opportunity on the blind. You can see Lewis scouting around, telling Lolo with a pick up and go. Lolo using her feet quite nicely. Good step by the number 9. It is Georgia Lee Lewis with a 3rd try of the match. And she's been the hat-trick hero, Paul. And I think we're all running out of compliments with this fine young player who's got a phenomenal future ahead of her.
Sure, you're 100% right. I think when we try and describe her, we run out of superlatives. But again, just the control she's taken and how she runs this Rhinos attack. For me, that last little bit of attack, just the control that they had, the patience they had, Charles, to keep the ball. They know when to offload, they know when to take the ball into contact. And as you were saying, you picked it up before they did. Attacking that blind side, what a good option. We don't see that enough. Attacking that blind side, keeping the defense tight, and then just being able to move into space when it was needed.
Yeah, just list 2.5 minutes to go in this half. It's been really one-sided affair. The San Clemente Rhinos really dominating the set piece, which is so crucial in this format. Even though the space is on the outside or even on the field, you still got to dominate those set pieces, and they've done really well in that department.
They have, so it's been an absolute shutout. They've dominated this game in every way, and even though they're 25 points up, I think my favorite part of the Rhinos' performance has been their defense.
Yeah.
They've been absolutely brilliant. I mean, I reckon their tackle completion rate must be up at least 80%, and just their line speed and the way they've put this Honey Badgers team under pressure.
Yeah, the Balkan Honey Badgers getting the title there with Cindy Dirksen deciding to go wide first up from the set piece, and again a loose pass as Shiko Mantrina gathers the ball. Again, going forward, it's a bit of a stop-start affair, and we said it's going to be very demanding, especially under this very hot sun at the moment. But what will the Balkan Honey Badgers, Paul, what will they take out of this game in terms of them wanting to improve as this tournament progresses?
Sure, I think maybe more positives out of the first half, absolutely, to have still been in the game and competitive. But again, for them, would just be looking after their ball. In the second half, they just literally have had no ball possession. And we know without the ball, you can't play rugby.
Absolutely, a bit of a messy scrum for the Rhinos, but they manage to restart their attack as the Badgers again with strong defense by Angelique Ross-Allen. It's the Rhinos now. Again building on the 22, but the ref says advantage was not sufficient. And they get the penalty just on the 22. And with just less than 30 seconds left, you think they will go with the option that it's been the option for the day, and that's a tap and go. It's Mumina Ghanif jinking and weaving her magic. Loose pass gathered by Michaela Davids. Pick up and go by Ratabile Mohare. She's been getting one try, and it's just a matter of getting the ball over the line. But the ref says it's held up. That concludes game 13 of the girls under 18 division. It's the San Clemente Rhinos that are crowned victorious in this match by 25 points to 0 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. Lots to learn from this encounter, but the San Clemente Rhinos will now be firm favourites in terms of their division, of hopefully being in that playoff spot late in this tournament. For
Absolutely, they really have shown their class, not just in this game, Charles, but throughout the day, and I think they'll just continue to get better and better.